when I opened my Kindle, I was like, oh, you know what? I could just read The Good House. This person is demised, then this spirit is going to transfer to someone else. Like, girl, get on with your life. Like, girl, get on with your life. Hey, y'all, the chapters are super long. Really not. I'm not feeling this book. I'm not. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back. So this week, okay, so today is actually Friday. So the thing was, I was really supposed to be reading Our Vicious Oaths. I was actually supposed to be doing a reading vlog for that particular book. And reading that book, I want to say like for the last 3 nights. Y'all, I literally only got to page 62. And Our Vicious Oaths is by Annie Davenport. I don't know, like I just can't get into that book right now. So I decided, because my physical books are now at the house. So I was like, okay, I don't really have any other physical books with me while we're staying in the hotel until like Saturday. So I was like, you know what, let me go to my Kindle and see what I have on my Kindle. So I just said that I was going to read something that's on my Kindle. So I decided to start reading The Good House by Tananarive Due. And we all know that Tananarive Due, she usually writes like historical fiction thrillers, or basically like historical fiction horror. That's just what I'm gonna that's just what I'm gonna name it, because that's literally what she writes. She always has that historical aspect within her books, and she always gives you like that historical timeline. So it's like she takes you back and then she brings you to the present. So I do have the book also on audiobook, because when I first when I purchased The Good House, why? Because I've had it on my Kindle for a while. So when I purchased The Good House, they offered the audiobook to me for like $4. So we all know that audiobooks are like super expensive. So I just jumped on the deal, and so a total, I think I paid like $6, because The Good House was only like $1.99 when I first downloaded it. So one thing I love about having like the audiobook and the ebook, so if you have like Kindle Unlimited, and if you download audiobooks directly from Audible, it's like whisper sync technology. So like if you're reading on your Kindle and then you get ready to switch to audiobook, the audiobook will literally pick up where you left off on your Kindle, which is so cool. Like I absolutely love that. I'm pretty sure if y'all are Kindle users, y'all already know that. But if you're not a Kindle user, that's something that I really love when it comes to like Kindle and Audible. It's all synchronized. I did start reading this last night. I only got to like chapter 1. Yeah, I only got to chapter 1, so I pretty much only read like the historical part of the book. This book basically follows like a young woman returning to her, I think her grandmother's empty mansion like years later, and she's going to end up discovering like some demonic forces that has been pitted against like her family for generations. So is it her grandmother or great grandmother? I think it's her grandmother. So that's pretty much like the gist of the book. However, I've only gotten to chapter 1. I'm actually on page 21 of the book. So I've already pretty much discovered like the historical gist of the book from when her grandmother was alive and the situation that actually was taking place when her grandmother was alive. So her grandmother and her grandfather lived in this mansion, and her grandmother literally has like some medical training. So one night these white people show up at her door wanting her to save their daughter because she's sick. And now we're at the part where the book is actually introducing like her granddaughter, and that's the only thing I've gotten to, y'all. So but I plan on reading a little bit this morning before I actually started work, because I literally got to work a little bit early so I could actually read. so I can actually read, because I'm actually leaving early today anyway. So I want to try to read at least an hour before I start working. I've heard nothing but great reviews. It's so crazy because I've heard nothing but great reviews about The Good House, even though I've had this downloaded on my Kindle for a while. I literally see everyone reading this. So when I opened my Kindle, I was like, oh, you know what? I could just read The Good House. I literally have had this on my Kindle for a while. So I'm going to read for like an hour, possibly. I do have the audiobook. So when I get ready to start working, I'm actually going to switch to audiobook. I love audiobooks, but sometimes I just love to read in tandem because I read faster than the audiobook. Even though I do have the audiobook set on like 1.85. Let me know like what your audiobook speed is. But I do have the audiobook set on like 1.85, but sometimes I feel like I still read faster than the audiobook. I don't know if that makes sense or not, but there's no way I could do like 2.5 speed. That's being ridiculous. That's way too fast. I don't even know how people can comprehend the words. Like I can't, now that I can't comprehend like someone listening to an audiobook at 2-3 times speed unless the narrator's original voice is very, very slow. And y'all know what I mean. Like, it's some narrators, when you hear it on 1 time speed, you're like, oh my God, they read super slow. So that makes the difference. Because I have listened to an audiobook on 2 times speed, but I am gonna go ahead and start reading. And y'all may or may not see me eating my breakfast. Like, I ordered eggs and grilled chicken from Chick-fil-A because the hotel didn't have good breakfast again today. They haven't had good breakfast all week. And I'm like, and the scrambled eggs, y'all, I'm not complaining. But I'm very I have like a really bad sensitivity to textures. So I had got some eggs and then I like touched them. They were like mushy. I was like, Lord Jesus, I can't do it. So I stopped at Chick-fil-A and got me an egg and some grilled chicken. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start reading. So this is literally going to be like a weekend vlog. So hopefully I can finish this book by Sunday. I'm hoping I can finish this book by Sunday. I know I can finish this book by Sunday, especially if the book is really good. And I've heard nothing but 5-star ratings about this book. And the reformatory, y'all, was amazing. And that literally became like my auto buy for Tanana review. So let's get to reading. Hello, everyone. Okay, so today y'all, literally has been like a couple days. It's probably been like 4 days, maybe 3 days, because I think the last time I talked to y'all was on Friday. And I really just had started The Good House by Tanana Reed. So I didn't read because y'all know we've been moving. So I really haven't had a chance to like really read, because my whole thing was to be done with this on Sunday. We've been like trying to get things settled at home. You can even tell, like, look at my hair. Like, I put some oil on it. I put oil on it and forgot the moisturizer this morning. That's why my hair, it looks dry, but it's like literally not dry. I just have to use like some moisturizer on it when I oil my scalp. But anyway, so I literally made a post on YouTube asking, had anyone that watches my channel, have anyone read this, because it's really slow. So I'm trying to like not give you spoilers, but I do have to like discuss some things in order for you to understand like where the book is and now. So basically, what is this? Angela. Her name is Angela. She's basically inherited like her grandmother's mansion, and it's called the Good House. And now the craziest thing is that everyone from Sakajewa literally has their own interpretation of why this is called the Good House. But what ends up happening is that she ends up coming back home, and she has like this 4th of July party. She's invited like all her high school friends like to this party that she's had while she's like back home. And something really tragic happens to a family member at this house. So now we're gonna go fast forward 2 years. So something like tragic happens, and then pretty much like when that tragedy happens, it starts like all these other supernatural events with other people within the story. The story has multiple point of views. So it's not just Angela talking, it's not just her ex-husband Tariq talking, but like everyone that was at that house during the party, they all have like a stake in the book, which is like a very interesting element of the book. So it's just not like one point of view, it's like multiple point of views in the book. But the only thing that I'm like having a hard time with is that because there are so many point of views in the book, it's making the book longer than it needs to be. And then the things that are actually happening as far as like this demonic or spiritual attack on like certain people within the books. And right now I'm trying to figure out if it's like a domino effect. And it's almost like there's like this domino effect. So it's like when one thing happens to like one person, and then the spirit is finished with this one person, it's like it's transferring, which is like the interesting thing. So it's like after this person is demised, then the spirit is going to transfer to someone else. You have some people in the book who are like, no, I really don't believe in spells and rituals and voodoo and hoodoo and ghosts. I don't really believe like these things are happening. And then you have some people in the book that are literally like taking heed to like what is going on. Like they're very perceptive and very aware of like what's going on, and it seems to be a lot of supernatural things going on. There are like some very weird things going on, and I really just want to say like just not supernatural but like demonic things going on as well. And then another interesting thing about it is that a person who's like aware of what's going on can like smell the smell of the transference, which is very interesting. Because I don't want to include spoilers, there are just so many interesting things like happening within the book, and all of it is tying back to like her grandma Marie and what she had going on like during that time. But what happened is currently being investigated by Angela. So I'm like 60% into the book, and we're still trying to really figure out like what is really going on and how did this actually start? Like what is the origin of like this supernatural demonic spirit like jumping and transferring from like person to person? Like, is this spirit trying to tell someone something? Like, is this spirit attached to like certain people because of their character or because of like negative or bad things that they've done? Like what is the reason like it's attaching itself to like certain people? So that's one of the questions that like I literally have had in my mind. And that's pretty much like as far as we've gotten, because now Angela is to the point where this spirit has also done something to like a family member, and she's trying to like put the pieces together. How is what happened to her family member, how is it related to like her grandma Marie? Now Angela, she's dealing with grief, and at the beginning of the book, her and her like husband, they were trying to like salvage their marriage. And after the incident happened with the family member, she's basically just like ghosted everybody. So then, oh, another thing is like her friend Miles. So there's a ex-boyfriend from high school, like a high school sweetheart named Miles. And it's so weird how within the book the author, she's trying to like rekindle their relationship. But it's like, to me, I just feel like trying to rekindle like this relationship, it's not working. Like she's tried to like rekindle, Angela has tried to like rekindle this relationship with her high school boyfriend since like the beginning of the book, and it's annoying. It's like, girl, he's trying to move on because you have ghosted him so much. When he wanted you, you didn't want him. But now that he's with someone, now you want him. Like, girl, get on with your life. Like, girl, get on with your life. Like, move on. So, um, that's pretty much like what I wanted to discuss. That's pretty much like where we are is now we're in like the thick of her investigating like her grandma Marie and how her grandma Marie is tied or associated with like all these other things that are happening now in present day. And really, Angela was gonna try to put like the house on the market, but I'm not sure whether she's gonna actually go through with it or not. But it's just really interesting. I think that having multiple point of views is actually taking away from the plot of the story. It's like it's not taking away from the plot of the story, but it's also adding to it, but it's also making the book longer. I think that if everyone just had like very small parts of the book, that it would make the book get to the plot like a lot quicker. Hey, y'all, the chapters are super long. The chapters are like 35 minutes long, 23 minutes long, 20 minutes long, 17 minutes long. And then even when after you read the chapter, you've gotten no closer to like what's going on than when you first started the chapter. So like I'm also still a little confused as like how her ex-husband Tariq, how he's going to like play into this book, because it seems like he has a significant part in this book, but it's right now it's very ambiguous. So yeah, so I'm 60% in. I have been listening in tandem with the audio version because y'all, the book is very slow. This is like a very slow horror. And I think that I have been like measuring like the structure and the overall goodness of Reformatory with this book. And I think I expected this book to be just as good as the Reformatory. Because we all know like Tanana Reeve dude is like amazing when she writes like her historical horror or historical fiction thriller horror. Yeah, so I'll come back when I am doing something else bookish. Hello, y'all. So I am currently back home. Well, we're not, well, I'm back home, like back home from work. um, so little update. Um, yeah, all of our stuff is not here. So the only thing that I was able to actually do was just set up my bookshelves pretty much. Um, Sorry, my face is so dry. I literally just got out the shower. So, like, literally, pretty much like all of our clothes, shoes, all of the things that goes in my bedroom, insurance still had. I thought literally we had majority of our stuff, but we don't. So, and then I had to order a chair. I ended up ordering like a new computer chair. And like kind of like it's like a computer chair, kind of like cozy chair, crisscross chair or whatever. Anyway, I can't remember the last time I crisscrossed my legs. but I'm getting ready to listen to the last hour and a half or maybe hour and like 20 minutes of The Good House. So far, y'all, like I told y'all yesterday, I'm not feeling this book. I'm not. And the only reason why I have not DNF'd it is because I'm just invested to just see what the end is going to be, because I don't know, y'all. The book is very slow. The plot is really being dragged out. I feel like the book doesn't even have to be this long. And the book is really not even about the female main character. Like, I really feel like the book is really more so of her investigating like these curses and supernatural things that took place in like 1929 when her grandma was alive, and her discovering like these like hidden truths and hidden secrets about these like spells and things like that that has haunted like her family for generations. Yeah, so I'm really trying to finish because I know I wanted to make sure that I was finished before Wednesday, so today's Tuesday, and I really want to finish tonight. So I'm going to listen to that for about like an hour, and then I've basically have given y'all literally like my thoughts about this book, because if pretty much if you like measure this book with like the reformatory, it's no comparison. um Y'all, it's literally no comparison. um and that's kind of like what made me gravitate to her books a lot more, was the reformatory. So I really loved like the horror and the historical elements that were within the book, and that's something that Tananarive do. She does well. She brings in that historical nonfiction piece within her story, and her use of like dual timeline in this story. I just don't think, I don't know. Is you're getting more of like the dual timeline, or like what preceded like these spirits from transferring into like her family and like people surrounding them. I'm getting more of that than I really am just getting enjoyment out of the book. I don't, y'all, like with this particular book, it's so hard for me to kind of give y'all like details without giving you details, because I don't want to spoil anything. And her synopsis on the back of the book is not like, it doesn't go in depth of like what the book actually is about. So I don't want to give y'all any spoilers, but I'm just gonna go ahead and actually listen to the book, while I'm probably gonna do like some journaling, because I haven't done my journaling in like a hot minute. So I'm probably gonna do some journaling, and then I'm gonna come back when I finish and tell y'all like my ending thoughts about the book. So the time is, I don't know what time it is, but I literally just finished meal prepping. So I finished the book about an hour ago. Y'all, I'm sorry. It is totally that's a miss for me. So towards the end, um Angela, which is the female main character, she kind of understands why this curse had been like plaguing not only her family but other people like that are attached to her family. However, I did feel like the plot became repetitive. So like the book was like 460 some pages, and I literally just felt like it could have just been a lot shorter. So in the end, basically the author, she really just wraps up like everything in like the last couple chapters. So basically she starts beginning to tell you the story from like the very beginning. So like I said before, she uses like a dual timeline, but she can you like back in time. And one of the things that I did not like about the book like completely was her son. His name is Corey. Her son completely disrespectful. Like the literally y'all, the entire book her son was like disrespectful. He's like using profanity. I'm talking about very strong vulgar language. And to be honest, his character was very unlikable. I'm really not fond of children using profanity within books. Like, I'm not. That's just something that I believe. Like, I don't like, I literally am disgusted when there are children in books using profanity. And I'm not talking about like, if you've ever read Make Me a Monster by Kaylin Bayron, like she was using profanity in the book And it's kind of like, it wasn't like vulgar. I'm talking about Corey in this book is using language like every other word was like profanity. The way that the narrator is able to like demonstrate like his anger and resentment towards his mother in the book, y'all, I'm like, first of all, this kid needs therapy. Second of all, I'm about to get my belt. I'm just joking, but because I don't even whip my son, but I just he was such an unlikable character, and to be honest, he did not make the book lovable. I already was kind of like disappointed anyway, because the book just did not read. It didn't give me what I wanted. It wasn't horrifying, it wasn't thrilling, y'all. Literally, it was really just storytelling, and I'm really not fond of storytelling. I really love to feel what the character feels. I love going through the experiences with the characters, which means that I do love when books are written in like first person. So it was basically just like, it was just written in like third person, like he was walking this way. Like I said, like it was basically written in third person. I don't like books that are written in third person, because I feel like someone else is telling the story and we're not getting the story from the characters themselves. Now, there was some dialogue and interaction within the book. I just kind of felt like I was just being told a story. And I don't like that. I didn't enjoy that. I didn't enjoy that at all. But that son, y'all, I'm sorry. Like, I just was cringing like the entire book, because he was just literally acting like a spoiled brat. And then within the book, it's like she tries to explain his resentment towards his mother and why he's so defensive with her, but that still, it wasn't explained in detail enough. Like, what is his problem? Why is he acting this way? And y'all, I just did not like the book. I'm sorry. And I know a lot of people like the book and they rated it like 4 or 5 star. It just was not that for me. It was a miss for me. And if I'm measuring this book with the Reformatory was literally like a 6 star for me. This book was not thrilling. It was not horrifying. It was no mystery. It was no suspense. It was basically almost like a folklore storytelling novel. Like, I don't know. I expected to be scared. I expected this to be like really thrilling and suspenseful. And I expected like some body horror. Like, we just, no, y'all. I'm serious. I didn't get any of that. I didn't get any of that. So it was not spooky. It was nothing spooky about this book at all. I'm still waiting for the spookiness. If you do not like reading about like supernatural possessions, spells, conjuring, whatever they were doing in the book, because in a way I'm still a little bit confused, because I'm like, what is going on? Yeah, it was just a miss for me. However, I still love Tanana Redo. Like, I still love her writing. Her writing style is amazing. The premise seemed very promising. I did not get what I was looking for in the book. And when I read horrors and thrillers, I want to be horrified and I want to be thrillified. I know that's not a word, but yeah. So anyway, so that's this week's reading vlog. Y'all, I have been like extremely exhausted. When I say I have zero motivation, which is why I'm so glad I mean, even though y'all are seeing like a whole bunch of book hauls, I recorded those like at totally different times, but I'm glad like I have something to give you all, because I really don't like uploading just like book haul. But I already knew December was literally going to be extremely crazy, and trying to like get out videos and trying to move and get my space set up, it's just, y'all, when I say exhausted. So I am actually getting ready to read. If y'all see here, I'm holding my tripod, by the way, y'all, because my other one is in the closet. So I'm actually getting ready to read Reese Witherspoon and Harlan Coben book, Gone Before Goodbye. And y'all already know that if you've been on my channel for a while and you're not new to my channel, y'all know I love Harlan Coben. As you can see, this is his cubby. And I actually have more books of his. They're in like the storage that we actually have. But I'm getting ready to read this because I'm actually doing a butter read with my girl Shelly. We've been trying to read this literally for like the last month. And she just got this from her library. I went and bought mine because my library didn't have it. So that's a good excuse to buy a book. But I bought this about 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago because my library still doesn't have it. I'm not sure why, but I don't know. Fulton County doesn't have it. So anyway, so Harlan Coben writes mystery, suspense, thrillers. I think his books are more suspenseful than they are like a thriller. But y'all know they categorize them like interchangeably. But anyway, so that is this week reading vlog. If you stayed to the end of the video, let me know if you've read The Good House. Let me know what did you like about the book, what you didn't like about the book. Let me know what your rating was. And thank you all for like literally supporting my channel. I'm literally at 3,500 subscribers, which I never would have expected to have that many subscribers like coming to watch my little old channel. But anyway, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. If you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to, but make sure you come back and look at my videos. Until next time, thanks for watching, y'all. Bye. And that's pretty much like the location of the book that I've and which was actually